Hello again, video 2 of the day. This video is going to be on my university bullet journal, which I haven't actually finished setting up yet, but it's going to be this is a setup as I have planned for it to be at the moment. I'm going back to university in a couple of weeks, so I will start using it then, and I plan on doing daily plans for my work and lists and stuff like that in here, although I may do there may be some overlap between what I do in here and what I do in my A5 Filofax. I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to do everything in here planning wise, or whether I'm going to have a section in my Filofax, or whether I'm going to use both. So I was cut off at the end of my last video because I was talking about the monthly insert I've got in here. I'll just briefly show you what I was talking about. So what I've done, this can focus, that's the best I'm going to get, I think. So if you can see this line across here, I've drawn 8 areas. So the top one on the left is 9, then it goes 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I figure the university timetable, which I don't have yet except for the first week, will probably be from 9 till 5. So if I have a pre-planned lecture, appointment, meeting, tutorial, library, study session, anything like that, that is a definite use of my time and that isn't tentative, it isn't something where it's a sort of thing that I could rearrange if I wanted to, but something that I definitely have to be at, I'm going to pre-plan it in here because this is my pre-planner book, so that I don't have to carry around drawn weeklies or dailies, because that's what I used in my Filofax when I was first at university. I had to pre-plan stuff, obviously, so I wrote it on weekly pages, but because I'm using the bullet journal format, I haven't got anything drawn out beyond the current week, so this is my forward planning. So anything that is definite is done with pen. I can always text it out if I need to, and then anything tentative is done in pencil. And then obviously I don't know at the moment what these corroborate to. This is the timetable that is just for the first week. When I get my timetable for my actual course, I'm sure I'll be able to memorise it quite quickly, but just for the first week I've written in where I've got to be and what it's for in here. So when I actually get my timetable, I'm sure I won't actually need to be writing all of my lessons down. I'll have my timetable in my planner, but any meetings or any one-off things or things that only happen infrequently, I'll write in here. And then I'll have my monthly brain dump on this side, and then it goes to the next week. And I've already drawn in for the current, for the first term, the lines on all the pages, so that I can just colour something in, 2 months away if I need to. But this is my Moleskine bullet journal. I bought it from Waterstones in 2014, so I've had it for definitely over a year. I'm just trying to find here. I started using it as a bullet journal. That's what I bought it for my academic stuff. This was before I actually switched to bullet journaling as my planning technique, as my planning system. So there you go, I started it on the 30th of March last year, and that is all I did in it, this one page. So I took it out, and at the start of it there is the part of the page where I took it out. I may washi that down. if I were to buy it again, I don't think I'd choose a Moleskine, but I recently organised all of my notebooks on my shelf, and I have a ton of notebooks, ridiculous amount of notebooks, so I have to use them up. I can't just go out and buy a new notebook because I've got so many, so I thought, right, come on, just use it. So I don't like the paper. I was going to be using my favourite pens in here, which are these Uniball iMicro, which are waterproof, and they don't bleed through much paper at all because they're brilliant. But of course this is Moleskine, so it's not brilliant. So if you can see, I did, where I was measuring this out, I did dots where the ruler would have to go, and it has bled through. You probably can't see it there, but I can see it in real life. It has bled through the paper. It is that rubbish that it has bled through. So not impressed, so I've had to switch to biros, which I'm really annoyed about because I don't like using them, although I probably would be using this to write with anyway. I just wish I could have the freedom to use whichever pen I want, but because it's Moleskine paper and it's rubbish, I can't. So this is my yearly overview. It goes from October to September, and although my course starts at the end of September, I started it from October because it was only 2 days at the end of September and I can only fit 12 months on here. The idea is that I will obviously have deadlines, and that some of them will be quite far ahead. So for example, I think I've got one at the end of November. And if you're at the start of October, that seems like ages away, and I do tend to live in denial. I think, oh yeah, that's ages away, I don't have to really actually start writing it yet, I can just carry on researching it. And then you get to 2 weeks before the deadline, you go, oh, it's actually really soon, I wish I had started before. So this is a yearly overview so that I can, even at the start of October, look ahead to 7 weeks time and go, I should really, there's not that many days, I should really start it now. And also with my dissertation, which is going to be due in, I think, around this sort of time, it's good to count 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Oh yeah, that's not far off, let's get on with it. So what I did was, if you start with the first box being Monday, then if the week starts on the Sunday, you're going to have a load of blank space up here, and the 30 or so days of the month mean that it will be, and you've only got 31 slots in the lined paper, and it will come off the bottom of the page. So I just called the first box of every month number 1, day 1, and so each month starts with a different day. But what that means is that if you are saying that I've got an essay due in on the 14th of November, that means instead of going Monday to Monday here, you go first to first. You know that that is exactly 1 month, and you know that that is, if it was on the 14th, it would be 1 month and 2 weeks, so it's 6 weeks or 7 weeks depending on how many weeks technically are in the month. So it's quite good for me to at a glance know exactly how long I've got until something's due in. And the idea of this is I will write in my deadlines. I've already written in to, because I've got also this copy in here, which is just the same, start of term, end of term. Then I will write in those important dates, and at the end of every day I will cross it off. So each day I'm just going to be crossing off the day. So eventually I will get down to the 14th and I'll go, oh, there's a month. There is exactly a month left because I've crossed off all these days, and I know at a glance I've got a month left. Come on, let's get on with this essay. So I don't have to be living in denial. Oh, it's a month. The 14th of November is ages away. It's not, it's a month. Get on with it. So that's the plan for this thing. So basically by the end of the year it's just going to be full of crossings out, and I'm just going to write deadline like in little writing in red. I'm going to write, say, course code plus DDLN, which is deadline. And then this is a forward planner for months. I'm not going to have much to write for each month, I'm guessing, and if I do have anything else I need to write, I can always do a collections page or stick it on a post-it note or something, but this is going to be just deadlines. And then blank, so that I can just do it like this with planning out what I need to do that day, what I was able to accomplish, and stuff like that. And then from the back, just like I have in my bullet journal personal planner, I'm going to be having collections, which will be library books to get out, library book deadlines, know when they're due back, a list of assignments, probably broken down by class, although I'm only doing one module at a time, so I'll probably just have one page going at a time for a deadline, because it'll just be one class at a time. Basically anything that I need to do a whole page for. My organisation section. So in my file of facts, I've always had an organisation section. I think I'll be doing it all in here. This will be coming with me every day to university. This is my A5 Vanderspec. It's Kuyuyo leather. I never know how to pronounce that. Just adjusting the tripod. I'm not sure I'm going to be taking this with me. The idea is that it's such a gorgeous leather. I am very happy for it to eventually develop that patina and that wear and tear that shows that I've used it and loved it for years, but I think at university it will get so abused, unnecessarily so. You know, if I'm shoving it into and out of my backpack, that I'd have to leave it at home. My plan is, when I've got a job in museums, that I will use it as my daily planner at my work, but that's going to be mainly on my desk, whereas on campus I'm going to be walking around all the time. It's going to be raining, so I'm going to be shoving things in my bag. It's going to be, you know, me having to pack up quickly after a lecture, so I'm not going to be wanting to keep shoving it into and out of my bag. So I'm probably going to be using an A5 Domino file of facts, which is what I used when I was in university before, because that is really strong and sturdy and I don't mind if it gets wear and tear on it. So I was thinking, what's the point of me bringing this to university when I've got limited space in the car to bring stuff, and switching out of my Domino every night and then switching back into my Domino when I'm getting ready for the next day, and only using this for a few hours a day. I think what I'll do is I'll box it up and leave it at home, and then when I finish university and get a job, possibly when I'm on my placement next summer, I'll be using this one. So I think this one's going to go into hibernation for a while, but just to quickly show you, I don't know if I've not got anything in here I'm allowed to show you, but this is my organisation section, which is just basically got nothing in it at the moment. I thought I had more in it than that, but what I usually have is just to-do lists, project plans, that sort of thing. That will be coming into my bullet journal. And I've almost forgotten to show you, but I will show you quickly the Dodo pad insert, which I used successfully for, I think it was at least 2 years in university. This will be living in my file of facts, in my probably A5 Domino. This is the gorgeous A5 Dodo pad file of facts insert. So what I used it for before, which is what I'll be using it for again, is the left column will be deadlines, so I will be probably having reading to do for the next class, and you know, prepare a paragraph on this or a page on that, or write up something that you could present to class, or you know, discussion or something. So I will write that in there, and then basically I just write everything I've got to do for the day from left to right. So some days I'll have like all the way to the end column if I've got 4 separate things to do. I may have several things in one box if they're related to something. Some days I might only have one thing. I may subdivide these 4 boxes, so for example the right hand side will be specifically the reading I'm doing, and then the other bits will be the assignments or